I want to begin with Reverend Chris. Reverend Chris Newman. We're talking about the mother-in-law. Of course, we all know that the mother-in-law is the mother of the person you are married to, true or false? Okay. So I'd like to ask you my very first question. How was it when you met your mother-in-law? How did you feel? You know, there's this feeling you have when you meet somebody for the first time. Is that not so? So how was it? Was there any connection?
When I met my mother-in-law for the very first time, that's about 23 years ago, when I met her, there was no very strong connection. Maybe because my tribe background, precisely I'm an Uwe man. And there is this mindset of majority of people in Warrior and in Delta that the Uwe people are big people. You know, so she already have that preconception that, oh, this young man coming around my daughter is an Uwe man. So there was no that strong emotional connection, you know, between us. But I know that by virtue of my training as a pastor, I was convinced and persuaded beyond every reasonable doubt that I'm going to completely erode that idea from a mindset. So even though there was no very strong connection, but I found something I love around her. So I hung on because I know with time, she would definitely come to accept me as a very genuine and a different way man, as a son-in-law.
Thank you very much. I was having a conversation a short while ago with Mrs. Mildred, and I hope she's going to say that when I ask her our own question. And that's what Reverend Chris just said. You need to give some of these things time. Is that not so? The mother-in-law then had a mindset about Uwe people. Of course, a lot of us have a mindset about Uwe people. True or false? Is that not so? It's so, right? So, but with time, she changed her mind. All right, so I'd like to ask Mrs. Mildred the same question. Yes, so what was the mindset? Was there any connection when you first met your mother-in-law to be? Now your mother-in-law.
Okay, when I first met my mother-in-law, I would say it was a friendly one because my mother-in-law was part of the chasing process.
Oh, really?
Yes. My mother-in-law and my husband are very close. And from my observation, when I evaluated the entire scene, I discovered my husband was the one that asked her to come and meet me. Yes. My husband, obviously, I've told her about me and how much he loves me. And I was kind of proving difficult at that time. So he had to persuade her to come meet me. So on the first day she came to my office from her workplace, and she came with her friend. You can imagine that kind of scenario. Said, my daughter, I've come to see you. I said, Mama, am I okay? She said, yes. He said, I like you. I've heard a lot about you, though I've not seen you, but my son has spoken a lot about you and I want you in my family. And I said, Mama, I can't say a yes or no to that. This is a first visit. So we just talked and we played and we laughed, and that was it. She left. So it really got me thinking like, this woman must be a very nice person. And I think that these two persons are connected. So I just took it like that for that time. I didn't want to conclude anyway.
Thank you very much. I thought we'll applaud her. So it was actually your mother-in-law that did the toasting, right? Is that if I must marry so-and-so or whoever I must get married to, the mother must be dead. Right? Is anybody familiar with that? I don't want to have a mother-in-law. She must be dead. Because there's this mindset already that mother-in-laws are troublesome, right? So I want to ask you, Mr. Sylvester, how was it for you when you first met your mother-in-law or mother-in-law to be at that time?
Well, for me, it was, how will I put it? Okay, so my wife, then my girlfriend, she had prepped my mind to meeting my mother-in-law, because I met my mother-in-law first before I met my father-in-law, and my father-in-law was at work. And my mother-in-law has this face. It's a very straight face. Like, so when I got to the house, I first asked my wife to be then, where do I sit down? Because I had to juggle seats. So I'll sit down here and I'll sit down and I'll like, is this someone comes and sees me here like this? So I'll move to the other seat. So I did that for like 5 minutes. When she came out, she had that face. She doesn't laugh. So she's just looking at you like. So I said, good afternoon, ma. She said, how are you? I said, I'm fine, ma. Well, she's a very nice person though. But the first time, I was scared though. I was like, all these people, they had nice first experiences that I sat down and you know this kind of thing where you arrange yourself, you peeve yourself, you enter another element that you've not entered before. Everything was yes ma, oh yes ma, yes ma. But as time went on, she's really nice. We don't do all that again, but it was quite scary for me the first time, but you know, the first bit of it.
Thank you very much.